Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. I just received a package from Thomas Nelson, and it has the Sovereign Collection King James Bible Personal Size Reference Edition. So they've sent me this for review in exchange for an honest review. And this will be my first impressions. I've not looked at it yet. And then the full written review will be placed on BibleBuyingGuide.com. Now, I have reviewed the Sovereign Collection Personal Size Reference Edition before. It is a Bible that I like a lot, but I've never seen it in goatskin. So we have premium goatskin cover, Smythe sewn and edge line construction for flexibility, classic raised spine details, art gilding on page edges, red stain under gold, 3 double-faced satin ribbon markers, 3/8 inch wide, premium European paper, 36 GSM, line match typesetting for optimal readability, extensive end-of-page cross-references and translation notes, Bible book introductions, concordance, and clear and readable 9.5 KJV comfort print typeface. Now, it doesn't mention, but it also has updated words that have changed in meaning or words we no longer use on the page. And that is part of the footnotes. So they always come in this paper, wrapped paper, which I usually just throw away and forget that it even comes in it and never even mention it. But I like this size. I like the size a lot. I can tell you right now, this is going to be, let me just go ahead and open it this way. I don't know why I go through the trouble to do that and then throw this away. So I like the size a lot. That's going to be one that I can see as a good carry edition. Give you the overall size. It is a 5 and a little bit, about 5.5. Now I'm bending that over. Has a little bit of a yap, but not much. And I'm giving you the overall size with the cover as I'm bending it. It's 8 3/4. And the reason I do that is that gives you the size you need. See, it's about 1.5. If you, let me double check that. Confirm my measurements here. Just a hair over 1.5. And the reason I do that is because if you're purchasing a case or if you are putting it in a bag or whatever, you need the overall size, not the trim size that the publishers give you. So it weighs 2 pounds, 5.7 ounces. Now this feels like a good size for carrying. It feels good and solid. There's the spine. The leather has a good deep grain. I can feel that grain. It looks good. A little bit of a spot there. That's probably natural, but now I'm fine with that. Perimeter stitching. There are our 3 ribbons, 2 black and 1 red. And then leather liner with edge line. And then a little fancy gilt line around the outside perimeter of the liner. I like when they give us a little pattern instead of just a line. I like all these little patterns. The first I saw do this was the Thompson from Kirkbride way back in the 80s. And I've always liked that look. So I always wanted something similar. Thompson had a little chain that went around. So that looks good. Let's see how stiff this tab is. So far, it doesn't feel too bad. It does want to close on me, though. And there's that European paper, 36 GSM. I suspect the 36 GSM will be decently opaque. It is printed in China. Now, the separation tells me that it has the little stitching in the front. What they call overcast stitching. I don't see it though. I think it's there. I could be wrong. Feels like overcast stitching, but I don't see the stitching. Usually these do have overcast stitching, and the purpose of that is to give it extra structure in the beginning, in the front. But I'll make sure whether or not it has it and put that in the written review if I don't find it before then. But that little separation is usually caused by that overcast stitching. So it does want to close, but it doesn't feel too stiff. It feels manageable. I'll say it that way. It does want to close, but it feels manageable. It's not fighting too hard. I've had some that when you go to open it, that it bends at the portion here where it is glued at that little tab. It bends at the tab. This one doesn't want to bend the paper at the tab. The tab itself is bending. So that's a plus, I think. So here we have the layout. I'll zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. And that gives us a book introduction, and then the text in verse by verse with red highlights all throughout, and then line matched, and then we have our references and footnotes and updated words in the footer. Down here, let me get that on the screen. We can actually see it. So for Genesis 1:1, we have two verses. So I would not say this is an extensive reference edition. If you're looking for references, this is not the one you want. But if you just need a few, this is a good one. And then it gives us the translator's footnotes and the updated words. So that's good. The opacity, it could be a touch more opaque. That could be my lighting. But I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit more opaque. Zoom out a hair more. I will use this to make sure, but my first impressions is this is not it's not so bad that I won't use it. I won't say that I won't use it. This is good, but I wouldn't mind if it's a little bit more opaque. Just my first impression. So it's got a lot of section headings, and these help build paragraphs. I like that. Then there's a drop cap, which takes 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. In poetry, it's only going to take 3 lines. I just already know that. So let's get over to the poetic setting. We got Psalms and Proverbs in this edition. Has a single column setting. So there's Psalms, and then there's Proverbs. No other poetry is in that setting, unfortunately. It's only those 2 books. Which makes sense, but I would like to see more poetry. See if this is a red letter edition, because I don't actually know. It is black letter. So this is a black letter edition, and then they give us a bold verse number in place of Pilcrows for a chapter mark for paragraph markers. If I can remember the word I'm trying to say. So most of the time you'll see a section heading mark a paragraph, but not always. That's not a rule. That's just, it usually comes out that way, but not always. Paper is easy to turn. Separates easily in my fingers. No trouble at all. The font is dark. Looks dark all the way through. Very consistent. So I can see this being your only Bible. And the reason I say that about this, even though it's KJV, is because it does have updated words on the page. I highly recommend, if you use a KJV, to use one with the updated words, or have some sort of tools that teach you what the changed words mean. You don't always know that they've changed. Sometimes the new word fits in the context, but gives you a different meaning. Like prevent, that's a good one. Means go before. So we have miracles of Jesus, parables of Jesus, 1 year reading plan, and they've continued to do this with February 29th. I would like to see this done away with, because we only have this once every 4 years. So that means 3 out of 4 years you have to read ahead. You have to play catch up. So you either have to read 2 days on the 28th or 2 days on March 1st. I would just do away with that. Give us a free day. I don't know why they do that. Then concordance. It's a decent size concordance. All the way to there. So yeah, that's a good size concordance. Able. Let's see how many names it's got. I like it when they include names. So yeah, I don't see, there's not Adam or anything like that. So it doesn't have names. See how many it has for God. Someone asked why I use that one, and it's because you find God in all concordances, and it's just a word that you can use to compare. Now, in my written reviews, I include faith, praise, prayer, and a whole lot of others, but I trim it down for my videos. So we have God here and here, so that's a lot, quite a bit. And then we also have Godhead, godliness, godly, and then that's all. Just to give you an idea. Just easy comparison. Now in the back, that's staying open really well. I do think this is a good one for personal study and even sermon prep. And then we have the semi-gloss paper, the thick semi-gloss paper from Maps without an index. They do have a lot of annotations on there, so these are annotated well. A little bit of glare off the light above me because it's semi-gloss. So there are a lot of little annotations in there. It might take an extra second or two or even longer to find what you're looking for, though. I do like these colors. And I find it easier to read when they don't have a whole lot of typography. When they don't have a lot of typography. They do have some. But I've seen some maps that have so much in here that you can't read the text over it. I find these a little bit easier to read. It's not too bad. Here's some of the most color areas there, and I still find that easy enough to read. The text is large enough. So red is in battle spots. For the most part, though, I find these is pretty decent maps. That page is glued to this here. And we'll want to close a little bit. I think this will stay open well, though, once it's been broken in a little bit. This is straight out of the box. Just opened it in front of you, so. Yeah, I like this. I think this is a good one. I would love to see the large print version done in Premier Collection. That's probably the one I would use, actually. But I like a personal size Bible. And this is a large enough print, and it's dark. I find that I like a darker print better than a large print that is light. I would have a little bit smaller and a little bit darker. Larger print doesn't hurt, though. So, yep, so far I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. I'm not seeing a lot of show-through. That show-through I saw on the front, I'm not sure what was standing out to me there, but I'm not seeing a lot of show-through here. Yeah, there's no distraction at all there. That looks good. Most of the show-through is going to be obvious in the single column setting, and that doesn't stand out to me at all. I mean, I see it if I'm looking for it, if I'm paying attention, but you just get used to seeing that, and it does not stand out to me at all. So if you're looking for a Premier Collection KJV reference edition in a personal size, this is a good choice, I think. I like the look of this a lot. I'm gonna use this for a little while and come back with the written review. And I'll place links in the notes so you can make a purchase if you're interested. Those are affiliate links. They do help me keep my channel running and keep the website running. That's what I spend that money on server space, because when you've had 14 years of high-res photos, they got to be stored on a bigger server. So anyway, that is my first look, first impressions of the Sovereign Collection King James Bible Personal Size Reference Edition. In the Premier Collection from Thomas Nelson, there's the manufacturer's suggested retail price is $220. I almost never see them for that price. Like Amazon and Christian Book, you'll see it a lot cheaper than that. And my first impression of the quality is that it's as good as anything I've seen as far as the quality is concerned. If you've seen any of the Premier Collections at all, this is the same. This is just as good. Especially if you've seen the later editions. The very first editions seemed like a little bit less quality than this. This feels better. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So, my thanks to Thomas Nelson for providing this in exchange for an honest review. And stay tuned for that review. Thanks.